And ahoy gamers, and welcome back to Path of Exile 2 as we play through as a hardcore solo self-found with a twist. Only allowed to use the Gamble Merchant. In this episode, we start off in Act 3, we make our way through the Sandswept Marsh, taking on a Rot Dredge, wasn't too difficult, and then moved into the Jungle Ruins, fighting Mighty Silver Fist, before we make our way to the Jackery's Sanctum, attempting to take on the mid-act boss. Do we manage it? I don't know, we have to wait and see. So without further ado, let's jump on in. And welcome back to Path of Exile 2. As we're playing through as a hardcore, solo self-found, only using the Gamble Merchant. What does that mean? All of our gear here has been gained through the Gamble Merchant. The only exception is the currencies. So if I get a Exalted Orb like this, I can use it on my gear to upgrade my gear. Any runes, I can use the runes, otherwise this will be an almost impossible run. As you can see here, these are our stats at the moment. We're using predominantly our Rake build. So Rake build being focusing on essentially bleed damage or just flat out damage. We haven't really been focusing on any bleed at the moment, we're just going for just pure damage and block. So we're going to be making our way down towards here, fast metabolism and Gorin. So this increases our damage and allows us to have more life leech. Because at the moment, as we are a Gamble Merchant only, you cannot get new flasks from the Gamble Merchant. So we have to get all of our health back from fighting. So we have a load of armor, we have a load of block, and we have to just keep attacking enemies. The only way we can get health back is from the flat damage we deal from the enemies, not from the bleed that's dealt from the Rake. It's just a flat damage from the Forked Spear. What is that? Okay, I don't know why that was green. My loot filter, I haven't actually read what my loot filter is all about, so it's probably something interesting. So as I was saying, yeah, so we need to focus on pure physical damage because bleed does not affect our life leech. So that is how we're staying alive at the moment. And as you can see, our health isn't really dropping. We need to focus more on our armor. I believe we've got armor and evasion at the moment, which is fine. Because obviously, if we can evade an attack, we don't need to worry about our armor, about surviving the attack. So hopefully today we can make our way most of the way through Act 3. Just a little disclaimer, I've never finished this game. I know this game's been out for 5, nearly 6 months now. I've never finished it. Because I only play these games as a hardcore. So because of that, I've just not finished it. This is the furthest I've ever gotten to is the Ascendancy trial in Act 3. So not that far through Act 3 to be quite honest. So we should just be able to tank a lot of this guy's damage. Just got to avoid when he uses that corpse explosion. Okay, he's stunned, so I can now just hold down left click and do a load of damage. We have been doing a lot of grinding, not so much off screen, but in each episode we've been doing a lot of grinding just to try and survive and do a bit of Gamble Merchanting. We've got 50,000 gold to play with at the moment. So we're probably going to wait until we're going to wait until we get to the Ziggurat. And once we get there, we will obviously, there we go, level 9 skill gem. Once we get to the Ziggurat, we'll be able to buy some gear. Level 9 skill gem. I don't think we've got anything we can use this on, because Spear could use Tame Beast. We have got a little bit, I wouldn't mind Tame Beast. So we're gonna put that skill gem onto Tame Beast. We're gonna equip it. However, we can't. I like having Herald of Blood with Vitality. So I think, yeah, we're gonna use that. Tame Beast allows you to obviously tame a beast. It has to be a beast, it has to be a rare mob. And you keep whatever affixes it has. So if you find a really good one, so something for me would be physical aura and maybe some resistances. And as long as it's a melee mob, it should be quite good. The ideal mob for us would be something like the Blood Harvester. Well, I think it's called the Blood Harvester. The Harvesters in Act 2. Places you find them in the mines down here. You find them in the quarries. You don't find them in the mine. You find them in the quarry, and you find it at the very end of the Dreadnought. They're the flying bugs. Quick movement, relatively strong. The reason why we'd want them is that they're always going to be in melee combat. So that mini boss we just took on there was actually It's actually killed one of my hardcores in the past. I would pick up that gear, but no, I can't be bothered. We're just going to keep going through. We want to get to the ziggurat as soon as possible. And the reason why we're clearing all of these maps out, one, because we need as much resource as possible. I think we're going to want that bone wand. So we want as much experience as possible, as much money as possible, and we're just looking for currencies as well. We never know what's going to drop, because at the moment, obviously, we're going to get a skill gem, which has a skill gem upgrade. One of the Jeweler's gems, I think it's called, or Jewelers. We're going to want to put that on something like Tame Beast or Blood Hunt, something along those lines. It'll be quite good on Blood Hunt. Armor scrap, thank you much. We'll be quite good on Blood Hunt, so I can put Execute on there. So we have also gone for Titan as our ascendancy. Only because it's the only one that seems to have something decent for our build. Not saying the rest are bad, but it just seems to be the only one that will suit us. So we want to grab that. I don't really care for any of those. So we'll jump back in when we get to there's like a mini boss in this area. We'll jump back in when we get to the mini boss. Another mini boss. This is going to be quite dangerous. We've got this mini boss down here of 2 Uruks. Plus they're going to be augmented by the Hunted of the Frenzy Boar. We'll be really careful here. So this one's already staggered. Let's try and take this one out sooner rather than later. Let's go back to this one. Okay, back to this one. Okay, our health regeneration is perfectly fine here. We can just focus on that. There we go, he's down. The reason why we did this is in this basket here. Another Jeweler's Orb. Getting a lot of items here. We actually now already have a full inventory. This Jeweler's Orb is really useful because we can upgrade our items to have 3 slots. So we're going to want to use this on Tame Beast whenever we get the upgrade. Because at the moment our Rake is the only skill we use since we've already got 3 slots. We can just see the ziggurat because there's not really much to say around here. So time to go do a shopping frenzy. We're going to go talk to Alba, who's in the ziggurat. She is Act 3's merchant. So we want to buy a couple spears here. Buy probably until we get a rare. Ideally, we guess we don't really need a rare. So we need ideally life per hit or life. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not the best. Okay, none of them are that good. That's fine. Let's buy a couple more. So we need a new spear because this spear is old. Oh, well, I guess oldish. None of them tie in. Let's get one more. Oh, buy one more. Okay, physical damage. That's quite good. And it's not the best though. That's not the best, but the increased strength is not bad. We could probably make this one work. I think we can make this one work. So we hold it onto that one. That's an upgrade of a weapon. So now we want to go for armor and evasion. So we want to buy a couple of these. So we want armor and evasion, max life. Okay, we've got spirit. Actually, we don't want to upgrade our armor right now because this has got spirit on it. So let's avoid that one. It's got armor and evasion and the helmet. Going to buy 4 of these. It's got a bit of armor, a bit of evasion, max mana, rarity of items found, intelligence. No, we don't need that. That's a shame. We don't need any of these. Maybe buy 2 more. Max mana, max life. No. No, that's fine. We probably come out of this with no upgrades at all. Got a bit of money here. Let's buy ourselves. We need a new amulet. What's this one? Rarity. No, that's a shame. Another mana. Another one. Max life. Max regen. Evasion. Yep, we'll go for this. That's instantly an upgrade. So if we can at least maybe upgrade our weapon and our amulet, that'd be nice. It's going to take us a while to upgrade anything else. So we want to upgrade this first. Can we... That's fine. Let's make a into a rare. Just by doing this. Increase elemental resistances. Life regen. Yep, we want that. Let's increase it again. Increase spell damage. Okay, we didn't really need the spell damage. But that's a good upgrade. We'll switch that across. We do lose out on the 10 strength. But that's fine. Hold on to this anyway. And this one here, we want to upgrade this one, didn't we? So I think we want to upgrade it into a rare. That gives me fire damage. Okay, that's a bit of a shame. We're going to have to hold on to this for the time being and hope that we find something Obviously, we're not going to find anything, but hopefully we can get something from the gamble merchant later on. That's a shame. That is pretty much junk. That's fine. Our damage is still good. It was a bit of a long shot to hope that we'll get a better weapon or anything along those lines. I just need to think of a better place to look for gold. We may have to wait until we get to Act 1 on cruel difficulty, so second time around. And this map here, there's not really much to really show here. This guy's evasive. We could capture this monkey here, Gruff Tusk. I don't think we really need to. Yeah, so we'll probably jump back in when we Exalted Orb augments a rare. Let's grab that. That's useful. We get straight on our amulet. 16 strength. That's a huge upgrade. We'll probably level up our... We want to level up our amulets and our rings at the moment. Another skill gem. That's good. Yeah, so we're going to do a bit more farming here. Make our way through this act. As I've done this act a few times, or this area a few times, we're going to jump in when we fight the really tough gorilla. Because the gorilla has a very good chance to kill me. If I don't dodge roll one of his attacks, it will one-shot me. So here we are in the middle of this map. One thing we've upgraded this as much as possible. Getting loads of items with loads of those Exalted Orbs. So we now have plus 36 more spirit. So we've got 47 now. So we should be able to get ourselves another spirit gem. So hopefully that will be a nice tame beast once we finally find one. And annoyingly, I thought I was going to be fighting the big monkey, but I may have gone the wrong way. Looks like, oh, level 9 spirit gem. Okay, we might be able to get ourselves something better now, actually. Click on level 9 spirit gem. Go to overwhelming presence. Enemies in your presence with reduced elemental. Nope. Time of need. Blessing recovers. Okay, how often does this blessing happen? Duration between. So it's... That's not bad. We've got this one. I don't break any armor, so that's annoying. Raising your shield and gives me magma. Okay, I don't have that. Let's go to all skill gems. See if there's any good ones here. War banner, no. Wind dancer might be useful because it gives me evasion. Defiance banner. Once again, banners are good. Then I obviously need to place them. Herald of Plague. Spreads plague. Don't use plague. Gain a. Don't use frenzy shards. Trail of Caltropses. So I drop them as I dodge. And then what does that... Oh, more active. Purity invokes to heal you and remove curses. Okay, that time of need could be good. How good are the Caltropses? They deal 4 damage. They maim on hit. That could be useful. Yeah, for the time being, we're going to use this. We have enough points for this. Just right click to activate and drop some Caltropses. See how good they are. Okay, they did a fair bit of damage there. Okay, they don't do loads of damage, but they, until we can get ourselves a Spirit Beast, then we'll just use that. And here we go. It should be the big monkey here. Mighty Silver Fist. So we just need to avoid that ground pound there. So we should be fine to survive most of these attacks. It's just whenever he does a ground pound. But we're going to try and dodge every single one of his attacks just in case. That's the attack you definitely want to miss. Or dodge. But this should give me 2 more skill points, which is useful. Because we're getting quite close to being able to do some good damage. At least I think we are. Okay, he's half health. Good. Dodge that attack. And just keep dodging. Okay, he's got a third of his health left. Dodge that, and dodge that attack. Good, perfect. It's going really well. And he's almost down. Oh, I looked at my phone because I just got a text and he almost killed me. Okay, that's fine. Awesome. Big monkey down. Got an Exalted Orb, Book of Specialization, and another skill gem. Good. Exalted Orb. Augments a rare with a new one. Oh, looks like I can't upgrade this anymore. So we may get ourselves a new ring or 2. Yeah, I think it might be worth getting a new ring or 2. And here we are. We're in the Crimean wetlands. I think there's a boss in this location just here. Yes, there he is. The Crimea. Need to be careful here. Need to try and dodge as much as I can. He has some quite tough, hard-hitting attacks. Dodge as much as I can, drop as many Caltrops as possible. And, well, more importantly, try not to die. Okay, it's halfway through his stun bar. Just going to keep moving here. I think I can hit this pillar. I can hit this pillar. Good. And at least I get some health back from hitting the pillar. Perfect. There you go. He's knocked down. I like the fact that it's got a bit of some geographic. You can damage some scenery, which I quite like. Right, okay. Down you go. Or not. Where are you? You're going to move to one of these now, I'm sure. There he goes over here. Looks like I don't actually get any health off that stone pillar for some reason. Got one off the other one. Doesn't really matter anyway. There you go. He's now stunned. As soon as he gets up, there you go. There's a stun. Now just hold down left click, do as much damage as possible. It's probably going to move off to the next one. There he is. Just quickly take this pillar out. And awesome, it's knocked down. You use a mana potion. Yeah, I'm quite liking this build. A Wake Warrior. A Rake Warrior is really strong. Takes the best parts of a Rake build and best parts of a Warrior of just being really tanky. Obviously, there's a few things I could change to make myself do more damage. I think this would be a really strong build if I wasn't doing it as a Gamble Merchant only. I might actually make this I might just make this character on a non-gamble character. There we go.
This is curious.
Now we have access to the Machinarium. There is one thing we haven't done in this area, which is Ravaged Camp. Not too worried about that. We've got the next location for the Ascendancy trial. And we're going to see how tough the mobs are in here. So we did kind of struggle when we did this as our Huntress a while ago. So let's grab this, summon Oliver, and then we need to activate the Stone Altar. To do that, we need to go find some orbs. There's a soul core just there, not orbs, soul cores. So we need to grab as many soul cores as possible. These stone sentinels can hit pretty hard. Okay, we kill them really quickly, so I'm not too worried about this location actually. We should be more than capable of surviving this area. It's just the stone sentinels when they hit. Okay, I did barely any damage. Okay, we're going to be fine. We're going to jump back in when we get to probably the boss of this area, and that's where we'll probably end this episode, I think. So we would have regained where we would have got to on our Huntress, and we'll be near enough exactly. We would have reached the same point, the furthest through Act 3 we've ever gotten, or the furthest through the game, which is really good. And we've got 20,000 gold, so we've got a bit of gold to play with as well, so we may end this episode as well with a bit of a spending spree. So wouldn't mind getting some more rings, because these rings are a bit outdated now. If we can get some resistance rings to pump up our resistances, that would be great. So, going to show this. Blackjaw the Remnant is actually one of the coolest looking models in the game, I think. Just looks like a lizard man from Lord of the Rings from Total War Warhammer. He's got stone armor, really cool model. But as per usual, I can just hold down left click and wait for him to die. It's not too strong. And I don't think he's got a one-shot attack, because that attack just there is the strongest attack. And we can just tank it. So we're going to just jump back in when we get to the boss of the next location, which is, I think it's like the mid-act boss. He's quite a tough one. And here we are, the Grand Soul of the Core Nexus. Let's activate this. Oliver, you may want to run away. Oliver, run away. Oh, she does, good. And here we go. The mid-act boss, I believe. The Warden of the Core. Ouch, that did a lot of damage, but the only way for me to counter any damage I take is by doing damage myself. Want to try and avoid any damage if I can. Yeah, okay, let's avoid that. Okay, that did a little bit of damage, not too much. Okay, and he's stunned, fine. So I need to be really aggressive with my combat to try and survive. Okay, he's almost at half health. Okay, he's now at half health, good. Trying to avoid as much. Don't really want to stand in front of him if I can help it. Okay, we've got full health again. Okay, or not. Lost a bit of health there. Okay, we're going to get out of this. And jump straight back in. Try and get my health back up. There we go. Okay, I'm going to stand behind him. He's going to be stunned any second now. I'm going to hold this down. There we go, he's stunned. And any second now he's about to drop. Okay, keep attacking, keep attacking. Perfect, he's down. Whoa, there we go. Mid-act boss over. It's gave me some random stuff. Let's pick all this up. And just like that. It's a shame we can't use that because that'd be definitely better than what we've got. That's fine. So now we can head back to town. And now we can activate we can now drain this area here by going to the infested barrens. There's an item we can use the item essentially. So first things first, we're going to essentially sell all of our items. We're going to do a bit of a buying spree here. You're not what I want. This is what I want. Salvage bench. Let's get rid of you and you.
I think I'll wait for a fight first.
We'll do a bit of buying and then we'll end today's episode, I think. I'm selling all the rares now. We've got enough of the currency for the time being. We can put this into the bank, I think. We should be safe to leave that in there for the time being. Number of trials, level 40. Completing this trial will grant additional ascendancy points. That's fine. This one will also grant additional ascendancy points. Okay. Interesting. So I've got 2 trials to do now. So looking at here, I'm going to make my way down this area damage. I'm going to quickly go up here and grab this life leech as well. And then we're going to make our way to this. Fast metabolism and Goring. Goring will just increase our damage. It's quite useful. And let's quickly do a bit of shopping. So first things first. Hey Alva, let's do a bit of buying off you. First things, let's see if we can buy a better belt. I'm going to buy 2. Armor, strength. That's a lot of armor. That's a lot of strength. Lose out on the fire resistance, but that could be good. So we're going to use this. And we're just going to upgrade that when we can. And then we want to get 2 rings here. Ooh. Tent oil elemental. Yep, that's good. That is very good. Okay, we'll replace this one with it.
Let me take that off.
And then this one, no, let's buy a couple more rings. Got enough money to buy 2 more. So lightning and fire resistance. Okay, I think we probably want this one, lightning and fire resistance. I think it's probably going to be the play because it's going to replace this one on the left.
Not today, then.
So ideally you want to keep buying stuff until you get a rare from the gamble merchant. Let's see what we can do here. So we can upgrade this. What else has it got? Adds physical damage. Yeah, that's fine. Then we want to turn both of these magical items into a rare. Max mana, that's not bad. And turn this into a rare. Got some cold damage on our attacks. That's not bad. We can use 1. More max life. That's good. What's this one? Now more fire. Cold resistance. There we go. It's a huge boon we've just got there. We want to ideally upgrade these to as much as we can. But there's loads of strength we just gained from that and loads of armor. So our health is now looking pretty healthy. And we're now just going to sell these for the time being. Do we have any more money? So we can in theory buy another ring. But I think we're going to hold off on that one just yet. We want a new spear. Are these any good? So these are the new types of spear. Because their base damage is huge. So we are actually going to do a bit of farming now. But we're going to do this off camera. So I'm going to do a bit of farming. Some are good. Some that give us a lot of loot. So probably over here in the sanctum. I'm going to farm a bit there. But we're going to do it between now and the next episode. And then the next episode we'll just start that off with us doing some shopping. And hopefully we can get some upgrades. Because looking at all of this, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with these 2 rings. I'm happy with these belt. We can upgrade the belt a little bit more. Then we do want a new weapon. If we can get a new weapon, hopefully with some life leech, that'd be really useful. Because our life leech at the moment is actually coming from our gloves. So ideally we'd want some more. So we have got life leech down here. One of these is life leech. There you go, life leech is just there. I think we've got an upgraded version of it down here. Would be good. If not, that's not the end of the world. Maybe not. But we do want more life leech. So we'll end this episode here. So if you made it this far, thank you much for watching. We'll be back in a week's time as we continue Path of Exile Wednesdays. As we continue to try and complete the game as a gamble merchant only character. If you made it this far, thank you much for watching. Got a couple links down below. One is to the community Discord. If you want to join the community Discord, it's a small community, slowly growing. You're more than welcome to join. Call me noob. Give me any feedback. More than open to it. Now I've got 2 YouTube channels down below. One is to Mrs Rothmers YouTube channel, which is called One Nerd to Rule Them All. That is a channel all about lore. So if you like fantasy lore, stuff like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Warhammer, some Witcher stuff in there, any lore stuff is normally going on that channel. And finally, I've got a second YouTube channel with the missus, which is all about Warhammer. If you like Warhammer the tabletop, the miniatures. We've got some Age of Sigmar, some Warcry. We're currently building, painting, doing some tutorials. If you like that type of stuff, check that out as well. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and peace out.